What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. And tonight, I wanted to ask the question: is the return of Tua Tagovailoa enough to turn around the season for the Miami Dolphins? So far, sitting at 1-4, heading into a very winnable matchup against Jacksonville. What's good to everyone that's shown up in the comments? I hope everyone's having a fantastic week. Personally, I just finished recording the Finish line with Richmond Webb. I can't watch the Bucks again. I've already got my dosage of. I'll wait till I got to watch them in the Super Bowl when I don't have a choice. But shout out to everyone that's already shown up, man. We're gonna talk about some stuff in regards to that. I'm gonna lay it all out because my answer might actually surprise you. My answer might actually surprise you with what I'm gonna say, and I've got various reasons why I think what I think, and we'll get into all that stuff. So you know, and then I'm gonna open it up to all you guys because I want to hear your guys' thoughts because, um, it seems as though everything is lined up and Tua Tagovailoa will be good to go this Sunday. Because guys, we're running into parallels with what went down last year, and people aren't talking about it enough. So let's get into this. So the question is, do I think the return of Tua Tagovailoa is enough to turn around the season for the Miami Dolphins? And if I sit back and I reflect, I don't think it is. I think all Tua is going to do is mask things at best. I think you needed to win at least one of the last 4 games. I know we're only 2 games behind the Browns, who are in 7th at 3-2, so with that last spot. But asking this quarterback to come back and win 9 or 10 of the final 12 games, it's going to be a tall task, and it's because not everything is set right where you just have to plop in the quarterback right now and you're good to go and you're off and running. Now let's talk about defensively. Right now, the Miami Dolphins, if you look at team defense, guys, just team defense, they are 30th in the NFL right now. I want people to put into perspective a number I'm going to throw at you, all right? The Miami Dolphins defense, as it sits right now, has allowed the 3rd most yards as a defense. When you look at when you look at rushing the ball against us, I mean, we're not allowing as many yards as, say, the Los Angeles Chargers defenses has allowed almost 200 yards. Sorry, almost 100 yards more than the Dolphins, 120 yards more than the Dolphins, but we're near there. I mean, if you were to go look at every team's defensive rush yards allowed right now, the Dolphins currently have allowed 668. The only teams worse, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the 32nd ranked defense, have allowed 705 yards. The Giants have allowed 692. The Eagles and Seahawks, 710 for the Eagles, 726 for the Seahawks. And then there's only 2 more teams. The Cardinals have allowed 695, and the Chargers have allowed 788, which is ridiculous. If you look at right now, 3rd down conversion, this team last year was 1st in the NFL on 3rd down conversion rate allowed. We're 32nd in the NFL. Like, it is bad. And what worries me heading into Sunday is a bad team like Jacksonville going to be able to convert key third downs against us. The time of possession, when you look at it, if you go back since against the Raiders, against the Colts, and now against the Bucks, the defense has been on the field for 37 minutes plus allowed each time. Like, I want people to put that into perspective for a second here. In the last 3 games, the Miami Dolphins defense has been on the field for 111 minutes plus. That is ridiculous. And now if you go switch to the offense, guys, right now where the offense is sitting at, have people not realized, and you'll see the injury report when it comes up tomorrow, but in case people don't know, Devontae Parker has not participated in practice the last 2 days. Now Preston Williams has fallen on as limited, and Adam Shaheen's been limited, and Preston Williams is apparently battling a groin injury. And you add in Will Fuller's out. Is this not last year all over again? Just Jakeem Grant's in Chicago? But look they're relying on guys like Isaiah Ford now. If you actually sit back and look at who are the top 3 receiving options heading into Sunday with how the injury report is panning out: Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and Mac Hollins. Lynn Bowden was put on IR, so he's not coming back. For some reason, they won't call up Kirk Merritt, but they'll keep giving Isaiah Ford every chance imaginable. I just do not know what's going on with this offense. Is just doomed right now. It's just there's so, and then we're on top of this. You go back to the play calling on top of it. You go play design. How many times in every week are we seeing guys where their routes are congesting each other and they're messing up? You look at how long it took for them. I was saying after the first couple of games, I was saying you need to get away from this RPO, especially with Brissett, this RPO offense and more progression read offense. And they finally started doing it, but it took till the Colts game. So it took till week 4. 1 win and 2 losses were already under your belt. Jesse Davis continues to be an absolute disaster. Guys, go back. Go back. Go watch the film analysis I did of the good, the bad, and the ugly from the game a couple of days ago. That one hit where Shaq Barrett got around Jesse Davis, wrapped around his waist, then Vita Vea got loose, came in and clocked him. I don't want my quarterback who's returning from cracked ribs taking those kind of hits. And people, where's Wilson? Albert Wilson, I don't get why everyone's hating on him. Have people not been watching our film breakdowns? Go back to the Colts game. The guy got wide open on a 20-plus yard dig route and had the whole field in front of him. Brissett didn't make the read. Wilson gets deep on a go route up the right sideline. He's gone. Brissett doesn't make the read. Albert Wilson's getting open. No one's making the read. This is what I'm sitting here and saying. Go look at Jalen Waddle's usage right now. Jalen Waddle, short curls, drags, his slant here and there, hit little hitch routes, screens. And then when he does go deep, Brissett's missing the read. It's bigger right now than one player. The reason why the answer is no, Tua Tagovailoa alone will not turn this around is because the same reason why Deshaun Watson alone will not turn this around. People seem to forget Deshaun Watson won 4 games last year because there were so many deficiencies on both sides of the football around him. What do you think is happening right now? Guys, when you look at when Rhino was on the show, when you go back to like in the summer or in the off season, we kept talking about and warning people we're going to regress defensively. You know, we didn't think we'd fall off a cliff, but if you're top 5 in all those categories, it's more realistic you fall into the top 10, top 15. The thing is, they're just falling off a cliff right now because they're being leaned on way too much. And X is battling the groin injury. Now you know why he was so slowed down. Byron Jones is battling an injury. Raekwon Davis just came back. Wilkins has played really well this year, but again, the pass rush isn't consistently there. And then what's been really detrimental to this team is our run defense. That second level is an absolute disaster. How many times have we done the good, bad, and the ugly, and we've highlighted? We've only been doing it since Tua went down, so we've only done it from week 2 on, basically. Okay? And how much have we been highlighting mistakes and mishaps with Jerome Baker? And people still want to go to war for this guy. And this is someone that this regime deemed good enough to receive the extension he did. And then now, look at this. Tua's coming back. Not only has a depleted core, but Xavier Howard looks like he's going to be out on Sunday. So, just by what they're telling me so far, by guys they've been calling up, I don't think we're going to see Noah Igbinoghene like people think they're going to see. I think they're going to give Needham that chance on the boundary. Justin Coleman in the slot, and then Jamal Perry or whoever else they have to use. Noah Igbinoghene's been inactive. So are we going to see Noah Igbinoghene this weekend? Are you going to put Noah Igbinoghene out there against the Jags and give the Jags some form of hope against us by just targeting and picking on him? Like, and then you go look at the coaching. This offensive line, the shuffling every week. This might be the first week they don't shuffle the offensive line. And it took, thank God it's the week 2 is coming back. But, I mean, the realistic thing is here is if Tua goes out and ball and has a good game, 2 tubs, 250 plus yards, 65 completion percentage, has a good game, but we still lose, there's going to be changes. And what is that when you're going to fire Lemuel Jean-Pierre? Is that when you're going to fire Grizzard and get a new wide receiver coach and try to figure it out how to use Jalen Waddle? Like, people have asked me, reason, why don't you want Watson? And I've told y'all recently, it's not that I don't want Watson. It's that I don't trust this regime trading all these assets. That kid still has growth and development. I don't trust this coaching staff to properly groom, develop, and grow Watson. I think the last going to be a Superman. They'll say, oh, well, our rookie could go 7-3 or 7-4. However you judge the Bills game. There's people actually trying to put that L on Tua, but anyways. And they're going to say, oh, well, if he could do that, what can you do? You almost threw for 5,000 yards with the worst team. But, Brian Flores, his whole calling card is his defense. Where's that defense at? Right now, because of the coaching carousel we've had on offensive coordinator and position coaches like the offensive line coach, etc., right now the Miami Dolphins have the 31st ranked team offense. And Brian Flores, the genius that he is defensively, that I've even been on record as saying, because I think he is, right now currently has us with the 30th overall ranked team defense. And to make it even worse, for those people that want to say Tua's the problem, well, last your boy checked, Brian Flores has not won a game since 2020 with another starting quarterback. Remember, Fitz was relief. He was not starting that game. And with Jacoby Brissett or Ryan Fitzpatrick starting since 2019. He's 8-17 right now. With Tua Tagovailoa starting and finishing the game, he's 7-3. So, what's the problem here? Because it seems like we win more when Tua's around. And I get that. But even I realize that defense helped quite a bit last year, and we don't have that to lean on this year. And the play calling at times seems just as inept as what Gailey was calling, yet the play design seems worse than what Gailey was drawing up at times. The offensive line, has it stabilized? We won't know this week because we're not against the most elite pass rush. Now they got a couple guys that can rush the passer, but we're not talking about cream of the crop over here. So Tua, as excited as I am for him to come back, I cannot wait to cheer my quarterback one on 110%. But even I realize that I don't think Tua alone can turn this around. And if he does, and I'm wrong, well, if I'm wrong, and by turn it around, I mean make the playoffs, people. If he turns this around and we make the playoffs, I better not ever hear anything bad in regards to his name ever again. Because right now, as it stands, they didn't do their job when he was out healing. We are way behind the 8 ball right now. We got to ask him to win 9 to 10 of his remaining 12 games. And in the process, the offense has to continue to stabilize. They have to find some commitment to the running game because Tua needs it. Our wide receiving core needs to get healthy. And this defense needs to get healthy and get back on track. Because right now, both sides of the football have a lot of question marks, not just one. And even if this defense continues playing the way it's playing, I mean, how many of them are going to be back? They might be trying to move those contracts because really, your best defensive players, I can say through the first 5 weeks, have been Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, and Emmanuel Ogbah. Those have been your best guys. And Christian Wilkins has been right there too. He just needs to create a more consistent pass rush. But those have probably been your best guys. And that's crazy when you look at the cornerbacks we have right now. And we would have never said that last year. I want people to realize by the end of October last year, Xavier Howard had 4 interceptions. Xavier Howard doesn't have 1 yet. We're not turning the ball over. Our streak just ended. We're not turning the ball over like we did last year. And they're getting worn out. So, a lot of things are going to have to change for this thing to turn around and for us to make a serious, legitimate run here. Oh, sorry, he does have 1 pick. I apologize. And he has the fumble. Without Xavier Howard, do we even win week 1? I apologize. I forgot about that. So, right now, when you sit here and you look at this team, I see people saying, fair or not, Tua needs to come back and ball out and needs to take this team to the playoffs. Nah. Tua just needs to show that he can be the guy. And we've seen what this roster is done with a 7-year veteran in Jacoby Brissett, who people were trying to sell us that this guy was going to be better than Tua. Tua comes back and starts winning. My floor, if he goes 8-4, that may not be enough for some, but that'll be enough for me. But he's not pass blocking. He's not playing corner. He's not running routes and catching the football. He's not rushing the passer. He's not having to stop the run from the second level defensively. Tua plays quarterback. Look at all those deficiencies I just named. For this to turn around, it's got to be a team effort. You can't put it on one player as much as people want to do. And my thing is, people also need to realize he's going to have rust this weekend. This is not going to be Tua just walks back in there, puts 400 on the Jags, throws for 5 touchdowns, player of the week, and let's go. Our coaching staff is going to have to put him in situations to be successful early on, to get comfortable, to get back in the rhythm of live bullets coming his way. Their offensive line, I've seen some real clean pockets the last 2 weeks since we've gone away from that RPO stuff. Stay away from it. It'll help to his development as the season progresses. Keep going with this progression read offense. Our offensive line has held up better and the pockets are there. Continue giving 2 of these pockets. Gaskin, 5 carries, 25 yards. Again, another game where he's averaging 5 yards a carry. Like, the Jaguars are setting up to be. We talked about how the Buccaneers, the Colts, the Raiders with Peyton Barber, the Bills with Singletary, Jacksonville with Damian Harris minus the fumbles. We've been the launching pad for all these teams' run games. Well, guess what? We're lining up against a team that could be our launching pad defensively and offensively, and that's rare. Trevor Lawrence is for the pickings for the confidence of this team to start getting up defensively, and their defense, specifically their secondaries, for the pickings for us to get our confidence up offensively. Then we have Atlanta the week after. These 2 games are key. You need to win these next 2 games. We need confidence and momentum heading into Buffalo on Halloween so we can be the Michael Jackson Thriller that those motherfuckers in Buffalo are going to get moonwalked all over by. We need to start building momentum leading into that Buffalo game. And it starts this week. And the Falcons aren't very good. It should continue. So, all these different facets of the game that I've said need to turn around for the Dolphins, the chance is now over the next 2 weeks. If we lose one of these next 2 weeks, a red flag will go off for me. This is when I would get into panic mode because we should not have issues these next 2 weeks. I'm sorry. So, and the worst thing about this all is, thanks to us, one of the 3 picks the Eagles currently have is 3rd overall. Turn this thing back on so we can get them out of the top 10 and out of the top 15. I need a W. And anyone who's just going to put the weight of all this on Tua's shoulders, because there's been guys who've been doing it when Tua hasn't even been playing, somehow they've been trying to twist and bend that narrative. If people aren't stepping back and looking at this situation and seeing if these These games since the Bills, since Tua got knocked out, have not sat back and taught you what the real issue here is going on with the Miami Dolphins. That there's multiple issues at play. Then you've learned nothing. And this has been a period of learning and evaluation for even the casual couch fans to see that Tua was not the issue. In fact, he was masking some of the issues. So, I mean, I want people, let's put things into perspective right now, okay? Let's start putting things into perspective. Now, this is a fantasy football thread, but I think this speaks to why people need to calm down. And shout out to everyone. Smash that like button, subscribe. This is let's put things in perspective because you know I always do. And this was a fantasy football post, but let's go here. Tua Tagovailoa has made 10 starts, not counting week 2 against Buffalo when he played 9 snaps. He has a 63.5 completion percentage. He averages 6.4 yards attempt, 6.3 air yards per attempt, and an 86.3 passer rating. And now here's a thread of the passing rate stats for some of today's stars in their first 10 starts. All right, let's start putting things into perspective here, okay, guys? Josh Allen, 64.2 completion percentage, 6.4 yards attempt, 5.1 air yards attempt, 64.2 passer rating. Kyler Murray, 63.9 completion percentage, 7.1 yards attempt, 7.1 air yards attempt, and a 90.2 rating in an air raid offense, might I add. And you all know I love me Kyler Murray. He's amazing. He's the only guy I would have taken. Him and Tua are the QBs I've been the most hyped up over the last 5 years for sure. Coming out of their draft classes. Lamar Jackson, 60.1 completion percentage, 7.7 yards per attempt, 8.1 air yards attempt, 94.7 rating. Joe Burrow, 66.4 completion percentage, 6.6 yards attempt, 6.7 air yards attempt, 89.8 rating. The point is that Tua is in the ballpark and better than Allen from all these guys we've named. So it's look at the company. We keep finding analytics and we keep finding statistic comparisons where Tua always falls in the ballpark with some of the biggest names in. I brought the graphs up here time and time before. Y'all already know what it is. How do I keep being able to do this if he's the problem, right? So, but people want to paint narratives and we just want to blame him for everything, but here's his full stats heading back in to the game against Sunday. Through 10 full games, the first 10 full games. So in 10 games, he has 2,029 passing yards. He has a 63.2 completion percentage, 12 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2 fourth quarter comebacks, and a 7-3 record in full games he's started. So it's really not as dire as people want to say, but he's only played one game, but did you know that right now Tua Tagovailoa has the highest drop rate in the NFL at 10%? And that's only through one game, albeit, but it's real. And number 3 is actually Jacoby Brissett at 7.7%. So the Dolphins currently have the number 1 and the number 3 quarterbacks in terms of highest drop percentage. Again, your top 3 are Tagovailoa at 10%, Garoppolo at 8%, and Brissett at 7.7%. And then at 4th place, you have Daniel Jones and Trey Lance at 6.5% tied. So all this stuff keeps going against Tua, but somehow we can't win without him. But he's the problem. We can't win without him, but he's the problem. Again, Brian Flores, 8-17 with Jacoby Brissett or Fitzpatrick as the starting quarterback. 7-3 with Tua as a starting quarterback when he plays all the way through the majority of the game. Just saying. 0-1 when he gets knocked out after 7 snaps and Brissett has to come in for relief. So you tell me. 8 wins without Tua, 7 wins with Tua. Tua's only started 10 games, and already he's won almost the amount of games Brian Flores has won without him. Figure that one out. But I still think there's just way too many holes going on right now with the Miami Dolphins for Tua to come back and just solve everything. I truly believe that in my heart. But I got an article I wanted to show you guys before I open it up to you guys, just to further my point here right now of what I'm saying before I open it up to you guys. And that's this. It's from PFF. They just dropped an article ranking the offensive lines in week 6. And guess what? The Miami Dolphins have dropped from 29th overall to 32nd with their best graded offensive lineman right now, currently Dieter at 61.2, and their worst graded is Austin Jackson, 49.2. And this is what they say: Miami's offensive line has been a nightmare, regardless of the quarterback behind center. Tagovailoa was at least doing a respectable job of hiding some of the problems, but Jacoby Brissett's style of play only magnifies the issues. 7 different linemen have now played more than 100 snaps as the Dolphins have begun to shuffle the line in the hopes of stumbling on a winning combination. Only the Lions have surrendered more than the 79 total pressures the Miami Dolphins offensive line has given up, and the group also ranks dead last in PFF pass blocking grade. So even major publications are starting to realize, oh, they're bad. Tua made them look better than they really were, but they're bad. And now when you put a lesser talent in there, it magnifies how bad they are. You know, everyone wants to say, oh, Tua couldn't beat out the guy who'd been in the league in 16 years, 15 years in Fitzpatrick, but no one wants to talk about how in year 2, Tua looks light years ahead of a guy who's been in the league for 7 years and started over 30 games. And the reason why they want to use Fitzpatrick is they don't use context. The guy, Omar Kelly, was even up here. He's one of the best pre-snap quarterback minds. I've told y'all, he's the poor man's Brett Favre. That's exactly what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. He is the poor man's Brett Favre. And let's just check on our friends for a second here, guys. Okay, so the Chicago Bears, yeah, Atlanta Falcons, okay, Carolina. Let's check on our division friends. Look at Lions have allowed more pressures than us, but they rank 7 spots higher. Gotta love it. Texans at 22, but yeah. Bengals at 20. Bills at 17. They were at 13 the week before. The Jets jumped from 22 to 16. Let's keep scrolling up. The Chargers went from 16 to a top 10 this week. Their best graded offensive lineman is Corey Linsley. Gee, who wanted him to be the guy we spend money on? But thanks for spending money on Will Fuller, guys. Where's New England? Just rub it in. And look at Kansas City. We always talk about how they turned it over. They're up from 10 to 8. Creed Humphrey is the best graded. Creed Humphrey has an 87.1 grade right now as a rookie. Creed Humphrey. Remember the guy I was Google guying over in the draft process? We need to take this guy? Creed Humphrey. And we could have got him. Unbelievable. Oh, the New England Patriots right there at 7. Michael Onwenu, who, if you remember last year, me and EM really wanted badly out of Michigan, absolutely killing it. And for people that are curious, the number 1 offensive line, the Bucks. I don't even like Jesus. Let me go there. The Dallas Cowboys. Right now, Zach Martin is having a out of this world year. But see, there you go. Even publications are starting to realize, oh, they're bad. Unreal. Oh, so I'm going to drop the link. I want to hear your guys' thoughts because I know there's optimists out there that believe in Tua Tagovailoa that much. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Is Tua Tagovailoa enough? Is his return enough to turn the season around? Shout out to the over 200 in the comment section. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on all of that. And the real scary thing to me is, and I go back to this, I got right now, like the 30th ranked team defense in the NFL. And this is your moneymaker, Mr. Flores. This got you the job. Oh my Lord, painful. Florida born with the bruiser Brody. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, brother.
Bro, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask everyone when I bring them up. Is Tua Tagovailoa enough to turn around the season for the Miami Dolphins?
No.
Why?
It's like you said, it's much more than just a quarterback. When your coaching staff is failing you, it's hard for even just one position to solve that when your coaching staff is so in left field. They're on Pluto when we're on Earth.
Yeah. Inept is the good word.
There you go.
CT, is Tua Tagovailoa's return enough to turn around the season for the Dolphins?
Unfortunately, no. It's not even close, and it's just I kept saying it. We've talked about it so much. It's a shit show from top to bottom, and it's frustrating because you brought up those stats, and it's also interesting again that Kansas City, as bad as they were last year, and all the changes they made this offseason, it shows it's doable. I mean, literally, you said they were the number 7th in the league, and yet we didn't do shit to fix our own line in years. And that's just the main component. And it goes, we can talk about coaching and all that, but just the one thing that you should be smart enough to realize as coaches, and they're just not. And it gives me no hope whatsoever that this regime or this coaching regime is going to get it done. I just don't see it. It's sad to see. We've talked about it so many times about how, everything that this coaching staff touches player-wise regresses. We don't get anything better. We have the same issues we did last year. It's the same old shit. Bad offensive line last year and this year. The run defense, the coaching situation, the situational play calling, all of these things time and time again, all of these things are the same freaking issues that we had last year. And my thing is yes, I do believe that if Tua can come out with these 7-11 wide receivers again and look good, then I know he's it. And but we got to get a coaching staff in here that can actually build the team.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We got the backstage full, so I want to keep rolling and get everyone's thoughts here. Z-Man, what's good, buddy? Is Tua Tagovailoa's return enough for the Miami Dolphins to turn this around?
Turning around from what, 6 wins to 9 wins? Maybe.
Playoffs is considered turnaround.
They had to win a game. They had to win one of those 3 games that Tua didn't play, and they win nothing. So the playoffs is dead. It's always going to be the same.
Pyro would be proud of you right now.
Huh?
Pyro would be proud of you right now.
Oh yeah. I just the only thing I can really look forward to is just seeing the Tua as the guy, and I think he can be the guy, and hopefully it is the guy they actually bring people in who wanna coach him. not trying to stab him in the back all the damn time. But
That's the sad thing.
We'll
Where's
see.
the bar at?
Let me ask you this before I get to Dylan and the rest of the guys.
where's
back there.
Flores bar? Oh, my bad.
Let me ask you this, Z-Man. So if he goes 8-4 and he loses to, let's say, the Bills, the Ravens, and then he loses to
Tennessee.
I don't know the Tennessee, and let's pick another one, and Carolina, because they're playing decent ball, but they started losing recently actually. So let's say he loses those 4 games. And I think we could okay, or New Orleans, take a pick. Would that be good enough for you?
Choose.
For me, that should be good enough for everybody, because we were looking at a 6-win season. So
Pyro's proud of you, by the way.
Huh?
Pyro's proud of you.
At that point, I'm looking at those 4 games and saying, man, Flores, you couldn't win one game.
That's what this is going to come down to, eh? You know it's going to end with Tua brings us back, but not winning one of these games, including the Bills game, is going to kick us in the ass. I'm telling you.
And I hope it finally just kills people on the Jacoby narrative.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. I want to get everyone up here, and then we can freebase it. And not, I'm not talking about drugs. Dylan, let's. What are your thoughts? Is Tua? Oh well, we already know what you're going to say, but is Tua Tagovailoa enough to turn this around?
I mean, I don't know why that would be an assumption necessarily, but I mean, I agree, because it's again, I mean, it is bigger than Tua. I have faith in Tua to be a good quarterback in this league. It's just the stuff that, again, my little thing is not the player or the person, it's the potion, bro. Like, it's a bad mix of bullshit. And I don't think he can overcome all of that by himself, unfortunately. So, we'll see. I don't know. He's going to get blamed for a lot of shit he shouldn't get blamed for.
Yeah. He said the scapegoat is back.
Jay Rose, do you think Tua's return is enough to turn this season around for the Dolphins?
If Tua is the guy, he should be able to turn it around.
What if the defense continues allowing 500+ yards a game?
I don't believe that the defense is bad. Like, most of these games, like, we start out and the defense be playing good. Like by the time we get to halftime, the defense done been on the field so long, it's like they gassed out. You understand? So I kind of can't really blame the defense, but I'm gonna say this: if Tua could go 9-3, that should be enough to get us in the playoffs. If he could do that, then he's the guy. But at this point in time, I don't think that he's going to, whether it's because of the injuries, or I think this is like his last chance. Because if he don't turn it around this year, like, they're going to either get Deshaun Watson or they're drafting another quarterback. They're not going to wait on him.
Jan, what do you think? Can Tua turn the season around?
What's up, guys? It's not all on him. So, based on the context, I'm gonna say that no, because it's not all on him. Just like you said, if the O-line was shored up, it has been looking better than it was when the season started. But if the play calling was, a lot more dynamic, a lot more creative, and our wide receivers were healthy, because we have like a crystal house is where they're living in right now, the way they are physically. So my answer is no. And yes, I do have faith in Tua. I think that he can perform better and give us a more fighting chance to win games. But the answer is no, based on everything here. And haven't even mentioned the run-stop defense and the way that we've been looking on the defense side of the ball. So overall, generally speaking, as a team, I say no.
Crypto, your thoughts? Can Tua turn this around? I guess you got us running the gauntlet, so we already know the answer, right?
Yes, and I want to thank you so much, Reason. This plays right into one of my favorite movies of all time, The Butterfly Effect. And the butterfly effect is, once one thing ripples, it causes a different change in the universe. So yes, is an emphatic yes. Tua can motivate the rest of the
At
guys.
least there had to be one
And then-
person. I told you there's one out there.
One of the guys, it'll be a domino effect, and they'll get their head out of their ass, stop making keep penalties, keep mistakes, and also that butterfly effect will lead to other teams continue to make bonehead mistakes that's ahead of us that'll cause them to lose enough games so we
We're only
can
2 games
make the
back.
playoffs.
We're only 2 games back for the Browns. They're 3-2.
Wow.
Right, exactly.
But you're telling me there's a chance.
All right, as long as we can keep them, as long as they can keep making stupid mistakes and not running the ball when they have to and lose games, yeah, there you go.
We need
Pyro with this Harvey Trunks meme going around right now. What's going on, bro? Like, how far in the hole are you right now?
Yeah, I'm going to cut that. Sorry, Crypto, but that's not going to happen. No, it's not going to change anything. As long as Floyd's still the coach, nothing's going to change. We're right now. We're going down in fucking flames right now. We've been shot out of the air. We're going down kamikaze style, World War II. Excuse me. And,
might as well try and hit something on the way down.
At this point, we hitting everything down, bro. We hitting the
Have y'all seen Midway?
Everything.
Have y'all seen the movie Midway?
I haven't seen it. No.
Oh my god. Well, just it's not really a spoiler, but like when the planes get shot, they try and hit one of the ships.
Yeah, kamikaze.
Just to make it worth it.
Kamikaze. World War
yeah,
II,
like if they get shot out of the sky, yeah, they at least try and hit one of the ships so that way
going down.
So they make it worth it. That's like what's going on right now.
Yeah, I gotta put this up there. Look at this. IT respect. Flo sent a message to Tua with that Clemson shirt on yesterday. That's
crazy, man. That's crazy.
He lost a bet.
He lost a bet.
With Wilkins.
Oh, wasn't that with Wilkins?
Yeah. No, he's joking about that. So then, let me ask you this: what do you guys expect from, like, I know. What are you over here eating Captain Crunch Crypto? Captain Crypto Crunch over here.
Yeah, Crypto Crunch.
Back to nature, plant-based snacks.
There you go.
Give that to us all, so we can.
I think a lot of people aren't realizing, especially in the first quarter and a half, Tua's probably gonna have some rust that he's gonna have to shake off.
Yeah.
What are you guys expecting this week against the Jaguars from Tua?
Fireworks, because how he plays against. But I'm on for real. Look how he plays against quarterbacks.
Here we go. 508 touchdowns. Let's go.
I hope so, dude. I mean, look, there's
Let
some
all
debate.
the positive people go first, please.
There's some debate right now about how severe his rib injury really was. But I mean, it was cracked ribs. How severe that is, we don't know exactly. But I mean, that's still something that's tough to move around. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
I think he'll be fine, bro.
If he could do that last year at 60%, he could do it.
I mean, I don't question.
Yeah,
it's not so much the kid's toughness; it's just the effectiveness, especially too. Because the Jags D line's not like super great or anything, but neither is our offensive line
or their secondary.
So I don't know. We'll see, man. I'm just
Jalen Waddle, 20 receptions, 101 yards.
That would be awesome. That's what I'm waiting for.
That'll be nice. That's a good number.
Why would
terrible? No one listened to what I said.
Not the amount.
That's 5 yards.
I said 20 receptions.
Damn.
4 yard curl. 4 yard curl.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything.
Okay with the yards, not with
I hope they put Hunt at right tackle. That is my I am praying to God. I know it won't happen, but I can hope and dream. Damn it, Dylan. You and Pyro like to shoot the dreams down, but that's what they need to fucking do.
Pyro likes to shoot it down.
It didn't lift off.
Sorry, but I'm out already.
It didn't take off. Y'all still in the runway right now.
I just
want back in. I'm out, bro. So
I just want people to be realistic, man. Because if we go out there, Jesse Davis.
I shot it down. Come on.
If Jesse Davis is the right tackle, which we expect him to be,
oh my God!
I mean, I'm trying not to speak things into existence, but it scares me, bro.
Hold on a sec. Solo boy.
No, because I don't want.
What do you think? Do you think Tua is going to turn this around?
I can't hear you breaking up. You said what?
Do you think Tua is going to turn this around?
I hear you now.
Probably bad connection.
Yeah, you must have a bad connection. Anyways,
Yeah, my thing is
All right,
I'm the same way. I think that,
He's
there's
probably
two
delayed.
ways this happens. Either Tua ends up getting hurt again because Jesse Davis is an idiot, or, we're going to see him struggle for, the first half, and I think he'll turn on in the second half. Hopefully the game isn't out of reach because of our defense. I don't think it would be out of the realm to say 200, 250, and a couple touchdowns.
yeah, I predicted 250 plus and 2
Yeah,
touchdowns.
that sounds
That
reasonable.
seems reasonable.
I'm-
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm expecting Gaskins to have a game. I keep saying it, but
Why, bro? They don't run the ball.
I
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
bro. I
It's not
know,
bad.
but
Listen,
this
you
would
should
be
not-
the team to run on. Damn.
Yeah, but look, I hope so too. And this is a game where they definitely should lean on the run, especially because it is Tua's first game back and the offensive line has struggles, right? But until they actually do it, there should be no expectation that it's going to happen. On the
Guys,
other hand, Robinson,
Yo, you
I
got
expect to have a good
feedback
game.
solo. That's why I muted you. You had some feedback rolling through.
But yeah, I expect James Robinson to have a good game, unfortunately. Because
one thing that I think we should consider about Tua coming back from this injury is like, dude, I already got injured once in college for trying to make a play. I got injured the second week of this season, week 2. I think I need to learn a little bit better. So maybe he'll come in, with this time off he had, to anticipate things more. And hopefully,
This might
I mean, you can't anticipate something you can't see.
yeah, no, I agree. But now he knows that things are coming even more than before because he's lived it. So I think it's time for him
Who's got this?
to get rid of the ball
Who's
quicker.
got this crazy feedback going on?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Jan.
Cocksucker Jesse
might
Davis,
sound
man. I that was my biggest worry. That was
Jan,
my
you got crazy
biggest
feedback.
worry of the damn beginning of the season was Jesse Davis, bro.
And you know what the coaching staff said?
Yeah, you should not be starting.
him back
It's
out there.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't want him though. I don't want. Look, I mean, I get what
To
you're
his ribs
saying,
are just
Jan,
a little
but-
cracked. Hey, it's still good. It's still good. It's still good. Put him back out
Yeah.
there.
And Jan, I get what you're saying, but on the other hand, like I don't want him to be thinking about the fact that the offensive line sucks and that he's going to be having pressure.
That's my
all over the
worry.
place.
I
Like
agree.
that's not good for his development.
That's a
If he has
double-edged
to-
sword. I agree.
Yeah, if he's got to think about how bad his protection is instead of trying to make his reads and stuff like
Correct.
that, that's not good.
Yeah, he's gonna throw picks and make mistakes and a whole bunch of other stuff. I agree.
or he's gonna end up getting fucking drilled again. Like,
Again,
I
yeah.
mean,
Exactly.
and that's the worst case scenario. So like, I don't know, man.
I think
It's not good for his psyche.
Nah, or his
It really
development.
isn't.
or
Well,
his
look at you
development.
saw Brissett. Look at Brissett was missing reads because he was bailing and he wasn't keeping his
Yeah.
eyes downfield because
or
he didn't
dodging a
trust the
sack.
protection. He didn't trust the protection.
Yeah, or
Well,
dodging
It
Right.
even
a sack
affected.
'cause he
It
had
affected
three
a guy
dudes
that's been
on
in
him.
the league for 7
Yeah,
years.
for
right?
7 years.
Right.
If a guy for 7 years is doing the same mistakes that a lot of people accuse Tua of doing, then
Right.
The
obviously
problem.
it's
The
a
problem is
problem.
with Tua is because he's young.
Yeah.
You can create bad habits by that.
Well, and that's
with
why I
Yeah.
was going to say it's
Yep.
even more important for a young quarterback because he's in the infancy of his NFL career, right? So, like,
Yeah.
you can't build those bad habits, and they're hard to break. They're hard
What you
to
mean?
break.
Bargain
once they're
bin
there.
shopping is good. You find
They
some good
did-
deals when you bargain bin.
They don't care because the old line been
Not the
building bad
Dolphins.
habits since week 1.
They don't find good
It
deals.
sucks, man. Why not put Kinley and Hunt? Put Hunt back at right tackle, throw Kinley there, and have them two behemoths covering his blind side.
I'd rather try Robert Jones.
Hunt is not a
Hunt's
tackle.
done with Kinley is done for the season with me. Him
I
and
wouldn't
Jackson
touch
laughing around on the sideline when it was only 7-3. Like, what the
Well,
hell?
so
you
was
laughing at?
Jackson. So was Austin Jackson.
Yeah, no, both of them should be done, but
Yeah.
politics, right?
I actually like Liam
Politics.
Eisenberg at left tackle.
Hey, he's better than Austin Jackson.
Yeah, he's better than Austin Jackson. I
Then
mean, he's
again,
not,
so is
he's not
Pylon.
perfect
Jackson
as a
don't
rookie,
even
but yeah.
be on the field.
Yeah,
But it is his
Especially
natural
letting
position.
him,
low effort.
and letting him take
You
his
saw
lumps
that. You saw
early.
that. That video that was going around of Austin Jackson just watching
Yeah. He does that all the time, though. He does it all the time.
Or
Bro,
yeah.
Watching what? Hold on.
And Davis was on the
Watching
ground.
what?
Nothing. He's just staring off into fucking
He-
nowhere
he
ahead
get-
of the
yeah,
with
he
Jacoby Brissett getting fucking battered.
Yeah.
It was
People
from the
do the
Tampa
same
game.
thing on those screens,
Jacoby has
looking
got the
around with
ball
nobody
off.
around him.
But it's like, dude, how can a quarterback get the ball off and you're literally letting a guy run right past you in seconds? So it's insane that he just stands
He was
there
on
and
an
look
island again,
downfield.
even
He's
though he
looking
was at left
downfield
guard.
like he's a fucking official. Excuse me.
He's such a clown.
Idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I
who's
never
got this?
agreed with the Austin Jackson pick either, and I think that he was a reach and whatever. But like at the same time, the coaching staff isn't doing him or any of these guys any favors with their development. It's just an all around mess.
Yeah, it's. Who's got this feedback? It's bugging the hell out of me.
I know, right? The little like it sounds like a
Clicking and clapping.
Somebody's gargling their mic.
Oh Jesus!
I don't know.
Yeah, it's still there. No, it's muted.
Sounds like somebody's typing and beeping.
Somebody's microwaving a hot pocket.
Oh, I think it's. Is it gone?
Yeah, I think so. I don't hear it.
Nope.
No, it's back.
No, it's back.
No. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Tua. It's back. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know, man. It's I'm just like I'm eager and anxious for this game, and I mean it's definitely a game we should win, but
yeah.
God forbid, man, if we lose to the Jags.
And it's crazy because again, we look back at all of these positions and the skill positions and everything, the O-line, and we've regressed or stayed the same in every single category, including the wide receivers too. Here we are, the only two wide receivers that can stay healthy are Mac Hollins and Jalen Waddle. That's it. Those are the only two guys that can stay healthy.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have gone into the season having nothing but fragile guys at wide receiver.
Guys, come on.
That's why I kept saying we need to put 9 people at the wide receiver position.
No, it's not. It's not that though, bro. They just
you have
need
to
not
carry
have
9 receivers.
Yeah,
That's
they need
a
to not
problem.
have
That's a
every
problem.
single one
That's
of their
bad.
receivers being
Exactly.
fragile. That's the problem.
But all you need to do is call up Isaiah Ford.
And the guy that was supposed to be walking with a limp is fine, no problem.
Exactly.
Hey, so
Right?
can you explain the reason why they called up Isaiah Ford over Kurt Merritt? I really
It
don't.
makes
I
no
have no idea.
sense.
I really don't get that at all.
They're insane.
I
They're
mean-
doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That's insanity.
I mean, is it special teams? What the fuck is it? It makes no sense.
Isaiah Ford don't play special teams.
No, he was out there playing
So it
snap.
makes zero sense. It makes zero sense.
I was gonna say, and I'm pretty sure Merritt was playing on special
Yeah,
teams in
he was
preseason
special
and did
teams.
some
I
good
think he was
things,
returning.
if I remember.
It's
Merritt
ridiculous.
was turning, I think.
And
I
then
have
what
no
was the
idea why they did that.
what was the
They
point
suck,
of this
bro.
new receiver they got from Philly?
Stupid.
I like
Well,
Waldo.
he was their leading receiver in Philly last year.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
some-
he had
I
like
heard people
500
say
something
that.
yards.
On this
though.
day last year, apparently he had like a 140-yard game last year.
But was that saying much against their receiving
During
core?
this week 6 last year. Yeah, their receiving core's crap in Philly, bro. They've been going through.
Yeah, they were shit.
Devontae
Yeah,
Smith's
I
had a
don't
good
know.
season though.
There's been some rumblings that it could spell the end of Parker and they might trade him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
well,
I mean,
Well, they finally cut the fucking cord with Grant, but look what they
Hey,
did
so
with Parker.
you heard about Chicago fans just
Yeah, but
yes.
what are you just gonna keep blaming the receivers?
Who, Chicago? What'd you say about Chicago?
What?
Like
No.
what like trading Grant? I said, where are we gonna just keep blaming the receivers here? Like,
Yep.
why isn't Austin Jackson being traded?
It's part of the problem.
Well, it
Yeah,
should
it's
be
part of it, I
too.
guess.
Austin
Shit,
Jackson
Jesse
needs to be
Davis
benched.
needed
Austin
walking
Jackson needs to
papers
be
months
benched.
ago.
Austin Jackson needs to be benched, and position coaches need to be fired and replaced right now.
Well, but that's
And here's the thing: Preston Williams is injured again.
Yeah, just
But-
crazy.
Dude
Right,
needs
and
bubble
that's-
wrap, man. Bubble wrap.
Cut ties, man. Cut ties.
Fucking Preston, man.
But the thing is,
People
what,
asking where Albert Wilson is in the comments already said. If you've been watching the breakdowns, I've showed multiple examples of him getting open and Jacoby Brissett not making the read.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know what any of these moves.
But I'm
do,
just saying,
though.
how people can expect a guy to get going if you're not throwing to him? You know, he's probably so surprised that the ball is heading his way that he just drops it. So I'm just saying, you can't.
And look at how
it's
they
hard for
played
a
that. We
receiver
could
to do that, man.
use a Lynn Bowden right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacoby.
Where is Lynn Bowden? Is he on the press squad?
No, because they put him on IR before
IR.
the season started. He's off.
So he's out for the
season.
year. He's out for the year.
Too many.
They basically stashed him.
Yeah.
Keeper league.
I don't know why.
Yeah, and they thought that we were going to hang on to some of these other receivers that can't
Like,
stay healthy to save
We
their
are going
lives.
into a game against where literally the only player on offense that worries you is James Robinson. Trevor Lawrence is a turnover machine. The offensive line is not very good. Their wide receiver core is beat up, and their number one guy is either Laviska Shenault or Marvin Jones Jr. Their head coach is an absolute disaster right now. Their secondary is terrible. Like, okay, they got Miles Jackson and Josh Allen, but and they got Clavon Chasen. What else do they really have? Like,
Miles Jack might not even play.
Reason that sounds like
what do they really even have? Like, if you lose this game, we like
it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
Oh my god, changes are coming.
Put a bow on it.
And you know what? And you know what? The sad thing,
And
the
some
change
people
is going to
picking
be.
them to beat us, eh? Some people on CBS and stuff are predicting they're gonna upset us.
A lot of people
Right.
are.
A
A
lot
lot
of
of
people
people
are,
are. Yeah.
Tucking
And
them
the
pick
sad
Lawrence
thing-
in fantasy. Yeah, they trying to pick Lawrence in fantasy.
Noah Jackson gonna start and get burnt by Trevor Lawrence and make the first game Trevor Lawrence can look like a star. Going to be picking on Noah Monogany.
Yeah, that's what I said in the comments earlier. If they put Noah out there, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's just going to throw it in Noah's direction. He'll be nowhere around, and whichever wide receiver happens to be in the area will just fucking go off. And it's like, okay, well, congratulations, guys, you suck.
I'm actually
I hope
predicting
it
us to
happens.
win.
Well, I got us winning.
I think we're gonna win.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict a win.
I got a solid W.
No comment.
It's gonna be
Solid.
close. Though.
I got a
think
W. It ain't going to be solid, though.
No matter how you
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
gonna
win.
be a W, not a solid one.
There's
It's
no
gonna
way
be
you
closer
can
than we
win,
want it
guys.
to be.
Hey, G Money, I'm not sleeping on Trevor Lawrence, but guess what? Tua Tagovailoa through his first 6 weeks,
There you go.
first 5 starts, had far better statistics. He had 7 at this point. He had like 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. 5 games in his NFL career, making Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, and every quarterback in this class, and every quarterback not named Justin Herbert in the last 3 classes, Justin Herbert or what's his face, or Kyler Murray, that they're not on his level. So I don't know what to tell you right now.
Trevor Lawrence got
He does good against college
If
competitors.
Tua goes to the Saints, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, buddy.
Tua's gonna be
Tua
here.
goes to Washington.
That
It's over.
offensive mind.
Telling you,
So
man.
Tua goes to Washington, it's over, bud.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he
Right.
deserves the Saints. If I'm
Yeah.
being
That would
real.
be crazy.
Just
Yeah,
because
him with
it's
Sean
gonna
Payton.
be the
team is
perfect
built
place.
for him.
That
He's
offensive
got
line's
for
already
him.
built. That offensive line's already built.
Like
what
literally,
I'm
imagine
saying.
Yes.
you just walked away from Drew Brees. Now you're getting a potential Drew Brees replacement in Tua.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
What do
It
we
would be-
get? And
It
what do
would
we
be
get?
perfect. It would be
Not a
perfect.
damn
We get
thing.
Jacoby
Just grab
Brissett.
some dumbasses.
Well, yeah.
No. We
We get Jacoby Brissett.
We gonna get the.
I'm gonna tell you this.
We get
You
a
want me?
deep
I'm gonna put
hole.
it out there. This is not anything I've been told. This is just a gut feeling. If they do not trade for Deshaun Watson by the deadline, I don't think it happens at all. Like, I think they will want to pursue it in the offseason, but I think there's going to be other teams that get involved, and it's going to get messy, and they're going to be left with their cock in their hands, bro. Like I
It
don't
wouldn't surprise me.
I think that's how it'll go, and I don't expect them to draft a quarterback in this class because a lot of people are down on this class, and really, other than Sam Howell, Malik Willis, Matt Corral,
Rattler.
who no Rattler. Yo, Rattler got benched, bro.
Yeah, you did.
No.
And did I say Carson Strong? Carson Strong.
No, you didn't say
Football league,
Like
man.
really, right now, who's blowing you? The best quarterback in college right now is easily, arguably, Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina. Might be the best, and he's not eligible till the next year, I think. But the thing is, like all those guys I named, NC North Carolina isn't playing well enough. Same old Sam Howell to make him a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Malik Willis is from Liberty. A lot of people are going to look at the competition and not want to spend a number 1 overall pick. Matt Corral goes to Ole Miss. He's playing really well. That might be your number 1 overall pick. And Carson Strong goes to Nevada, so I don't know how people are going to really judge him, but he's been pretty good, but he's not mobile, so he's not like the new athletic quarterback that everyone salivates over. So I don't even know if they would invest in a quarterback. Like, I think it would literally be you got to trade for one or you got to ride Tua till the next draft class. Because, like, I love Jaden Daniels out of Arizona State, and he's been coached up by Herm Edwards. So he's had NFL coaching, but he's like 185 pounds. Like, he doesn't have an NFL frame right now, right? So, like, no one's going to take him that high.
I think the best bet is for them to just. I think in their reality they think a quarterback's gonna want to come here, but that's not gonna be the actual reality. We're gonna get to the offseason and it's gonna be how we're not in any conversation for any of these quarterbacks because no quarterback want to come here and look terrible because this offensive line is terrible, the receiver is terrible. So I think the best bet.
Florida born, I would never draft Spencer Rattler, bro. That guy has the worst attitude of any player, let alone quarterback I've seen in probably.
I agree. I watched
QB1, bro.
Yeah, he's talking to his girlfriend and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. And apparently he's still the same, bro.
I was just saying it. I didn't know he got. I didn't know he got
sidelines, right? How he was when he got benched. Fuck that guy, bro.
Man, the guy I wanted, the guy I like is went to Kentucky, but he tore his ACL and then he tore it again. Nick Scalzo, he was on QB1.
I remember him.
I remember him.
When I get him in high school, I was on Deerfield.
Whoa. Tom.
Hey, Reason.
Yo, where are you, bro? You are in a
wind tunnel or
something. What's the main reason that Watson wants to come to Miami anyway?
Tootsies.
King of Diamonds.
That's it, hit craft spots.
No, but it's been
because they have better massage parlors down in Miami.
It's been the culture and the whole winning culture and all that jazz that they thought we were creating over here after the 10 wins.
And if we're bad enough to, where we have to get rid of Flores and Greer at the end of the season, he's not going to want to even pick here.
A new GM is not going to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to want to use the 3 picks over the next 2 years themselves.
Yeah, I think the highest probability of it happening, if it happens at all, is before the trade deadline. So.
When do you think Thibodeau goes? What pick, Reason?
Bro, that guy's man. What is the rankings right now?
Yeah.
Like what are the everyone? Why is everyone in love with Kenny Pickett from Pitt? I don't get it, but okay.
Because I think we're going to have a higher pick.
Let me see the draft order. Right now. So Jacksonville is 1. Jacksonville is 1. So that would be Evan Neal. Detroit is number 2. Houston's number 3. I think the Jets at 4. Unless if Detroit's sticking through, they would take Kevon Thibodeau at 2. With Jared Goff, but the Jets at 4 right now.
Yeah. What about
Philly has 5, 6. Philly has 5 and 6. We have 11 right now.
What about Houston?
and
Yeah,
most
but that
of this went
11 ain't
down.
ours anyway.
What'd you say, Todd?
No, 11 is
I said,
ours.
what about Houston though? With the way their quarterback's playing,
That's what I said. I passed. Davis Mills. I passed. Oh, and here's the thing. Remember remember I one of the things I point out about where Herbert's at is he had Pep Hamilton.
Yep.
Who does Davis Mills have in Houston?
Same
Are
thing.
you serious? Oh,
Yeah, bro. And we were supposed to interview him. That's why I wanted to be our offensive coordinator.
Coaching
Why
doesn't
did we
matter.
not
Reese.
get
And
that guy?
Davis Mills, if he had a better team around him, if
That's
Davis Mills had a better team around him, they would have beat New England last week because they were up on them by a couple scores.
Bro,
But
he
then
was
the
looking like
team
a
just fell apart.
baller.
Yeah, and then the team just fell apart.
Come on,
I
Reese.
was
You know
like,
coaching
damn.
doesn't matter.
I was like, damn. Reason called that shit because I remember you talking about him
I love that
last
kid. Yeah,
year.
I had him higher than Mac Jones.
Yeah, Davis Mills.
He was my quarterback
Late first
5.
rounder.
He was my quarterback 5. Outside of the top 4 that won the first 11 or 12 picks or whatever it was, he was the next guy up for me.
So I mean,
Mac Jones
why
is
do we
exposed,
why do
by
we
the way.
never hire the right people? I don't know, because we don't know how.
Because we're the Dolphins, where we
Nah, because of Flores' ego.
It's a curse.
And that's
I mean,
horrible, man. Like, why be like that, even as a person? I mean, I get it, but damn, man, you really think that you're the only one that's got the right answer? That's just crazy to me. I hate that. To think that that's my coach.
Yeah,
I told you.
somebody had to
Didn't I
hire
tell
him
you
too.
guys? I told you about this guy.
Yeah, this organization.
Bro, I told them about the guy behind backstage, and
No,
it turned
yeah.
everyone on this guy.
No, I'm talking about Patriots disciples, man. I just don't trust them. I never trusted them.
How many coaches have we had since the 2010, in the last 10, 11 years, bro?
Probably as many.
Yeah.
9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch,
I
bro.
mean, I've never been high on him.
You guys are gonna call me
Counting all the
crazy,
interim
but
coaches.
I wish we still had Dan Campbell. I ain't gonna lie.
I know I would have played
Yeah.
for that guy.
Honestly, too.
Or
like,
Todd Bowles.
when he was,
We
when
had
he
Todd
was-
Bowles as interim coach.
Fuck, I wish we
Yeah.
still had Jim Caldwell to take this over.
Todd Bowles would
Yeah.
be a good defensive coordinator. But no, like even like Dan Campbell up on the, and that's the thing too. Like I was thinking about this because you saw how Dan Campbell was like crying and stuff at the podium, after the last loss that they took, right?
Yeah, bro, that shit.
I love that.
I was gonna say his players love that. I guarantee it. His players fucking love that because they see how emotionally invested he is in it, and they're gonna want to run through a fucking wall for him.
And
on the other hand, hold on, real quick. On the other hand, and the reason why I was thinking about it so much is because of the guy that we have, the dude that we have. Like nobody wants to talk to him and shit, and he doesn't give you any kind of answer. And he's even been blaming it on execution a lot lately and stuff like that. And it's like it's the exact opposite, bro. Like these dudes ain't gonna want to run through a wall for you. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
And Dylan, that's what I was gonna say. What really made me like Flores was the Cincinnati game last year when he ran across the field ready to fight. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe that's what I like to see from my coach, some emotion. And now to find
It's got to be channeled right though too. Like
stubbornness now, bro.
Yeah, but I think that was fine. It's just, again, the game planning and using our players to their ability and all the other ways that this coaching staff has failed. That's where it shows you, okay, yeah, he may be emotional, just like Dan Campbell, but are they made to be a head coach? We'll find out.
Logan, if we walked away with just those two players in the
I'd be
draft,
ecstatic, bro.
It would be the best draft ever.
I want a freaking linebacker.
By the way, though,
we definitely need a linebacker.
By the way, the context in which a lot of people put Tua into for the remainder of the season, in other words, people who say that like he has to come back to get us into the playoffs to prove he's the guy.
This is his last chance. It's
Look,
been his only
yeah,
chance.
look, that's as far as I'm concerned, that is another example of putting him in position to fail because it's such a high standard that it's near impossible to accomplish at this point. And if he doesn't, then people are just going to write him off.
Dylan, what I
and
hate about
not
that?
take things into context and understand the things that surrounding him that caused him to not be able to.
You know what I hate about that, Dylan?
Got drafted, bro.
You know what I hate about that, Dylan? It's not only that you're asking him to carry the team, Well, you also ask him to carry the coaches as well for their
Yeah, that's
inefficiency.
what I'm saying.
For the
Because
inefficient.
there are so many problems, and he's supposed to make up what for the bad drafting that they've done.
Exactly.
Really? Because
Exactly.
he picked all those guys. Right. Okay.
The bad draft and the
like,
bad free
screw all
agency that
that.
they did for
Like
2
it's
years.
not
And
2 years. 2
How do
years.
you go? How do you go from being one of the best defenses on third down to now one of the worst defenses?
Exactly.
Because
because they're letting Baker cover more. That's exactly why.
What I mean, how is Tua gonna fix that?
Well, he's not.
He can't.
And there's
now.
Yeah, I mean,
It's only
I
a handful
thought.
of quarterbacks who can carry the organization. Tua's not that because he's just starting, bro.
I mean, but
Talking about
but even the best of the best can't carry an entire.
Yeah, look at Aaron
organization,
Rodgers.
though.
Look at Aaron Rodgers.
Agreed.
Like,
Even those guys,
they need
they
help.
need time
They
to
need
become,
help. Look at Tom Brady.
they are.
Look at Mahomes.
I mean,
Right now.
Lamar Jackson, like the other day, he carried his team to a win, and he can do that as a special quarterback. But the thing is, though, is the Ravens organization is a very fundamentally sound organization. He doesn't have to compensate for shitty coaching and bad draft picks and all of that stuff. When you start getting when you start getting to those levels and expect that your quarterback has to overcome all of that, you're just fucked because it's not going to happen. They're not superheroes, bro. Like they can't. I mean, look, what was Aaron Rodgers? One of the big complaints that he had was that they weren't getting him weapons and stuff, right?
His attitude though, shit.
In the bad coaching.
But I'm just saying, like,
but Rodgers always had an offensive line. They didn't do that well for Wilson.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that Russell Wilson is going through his struggles also because he himself can't do it.
Can only do so much, man. They're human beings, bro. Like they're human beings.
And that was my whole thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. No, go ahead.
My whole thing was, as somebody had said earlier up in the panel, that they don't think the defense is all that bad. I do, because even in the sense that yes, they have played quite a bit. Them being wore out does not mean that even at full stamina, Baker still can't cover anything. And our backup defensive linemen can't get anything going whatsoever. Phillips and Ogba are turning it on. And yeah, Wilkins has been okay, but again, we talked about the pass rush thing. But then our linebackers continue to not be able to tackle. I'm sorry, but the defense is bad. I'm sorry, but that's reality. Period.
They started
They're
off
bad.
okay, pretty good. First 2 games, for example, first game and a half actually. But
look,
then it's been going downhill.
Yeah, we got to put this into perspective, though, okay? Because last year, even in 2020, while it is true that the defense held us in a lot of that and helped us to win some of those games, etc., there was, 3 categories that they were in the top of the league, which was third down, and they're big categories, which was a big part of the context. Third down defense, red zone defense, and turnovers, right?
Right.
But those are 3 things that are super hard to continue year in and year out. But the rest of the defensive statistics, the rest of the defensive statistics, though, weren't all that great. And so that's why, for me, I expected for sure a regression from the defense because,
Not this bad.
Yeah, that's true. But the reason why it ends up being this bad is because the reality is the defense was probably or is probably, somewhere in the middle of the pack, maybe even like top 16, top 15. But when you compound the issue with having to play 37 minutes a game, and now we're getting our top corners with injuries and, all this other shit that's a problem, coaching, etc., getting rid of your team leadership on defense, right? Like all these things, they just compound the problem even more. And that's why we're seeing them sink into the bottom of the league as opposed to settling out somewhere in the middle of the league.
Yeah, and that's all.
I think that we were living. And they just carried over the momentum from last year and the identity they created last year. They thought they could bring it over, and we thought, that's what our identity is on defense, but it doesn't seem that way this season.
See, that's their problem. They keep thinking they don't know.
It's too
they
surface,
they do all this stuff off of guesses and hope. oh, we hope
Well, it's
the offensive line be better. We hope
It's a
they
foolish
create a
thing.
pass rush this year. We
Yeah,
hope
it's a
Jerome
foolish
Baker
thing to
can
think.
tackle.
Yeah, it's a foolish thing to think though that you're going to be able to stay top 5 in those three particular categories. Like it's just it's super hard to replicate that. Like you got to that's why some of the subsequent moves that they made were so confounding and so confusing, because why do you not improve your run defense? Like why? Like what?
Right.
It just doesn't.
Because they thought
clear.
Roberts was the same player.
Well, they thought they did with McKinney, and they added depth, right? But
well, then they got
like
rid
I've
of
been like I said, if you've seen what Omar Kelly said, he said that McKinney wasn't cut because of talent; it was something deeper than that.
And that makes sense. That's what I was thinking from the jump, man.
Well,
but what kills me,
but what is it?
my
I
thing
mean,
is,
obviously we're not going to find out, but it's got to be something really bad.
Low and veterans.
He hinted that he might tell us all.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it's just because he doesn't like Flores doesn't like veteran presence, that's not a good reason. That's not a good reason.
Yeah,
right?
but
so,
the
like,
thing
I
that
want to know what the
concerns-
reason is, because it's got to be something really bad for them not to keep him around.
Right.
Yeah, but for me, the overall problem with the defense is I agree with the being the top 3 and 5 and whatever. But the thing that disappoints me the most is it's the coaching and the play calling, but it's also the mentality of last year. We had all those turnovers and great third down defense because our defense was aggressive. We have not played aggressive all year. We played patty cake bullshit with all these teams playing off coverage. You know, we're not up in receivers' faces, and when we do press, Xavier Howard's not even freaking hitting his man. It's like, dude, why are you giving him a free release if you're pressing on him anyway? The whole point in you being there is to mess up the timing of a route, not just go, oh, I'm here just to say hi and then let you run by me. We haven't played nearly as aggressive this year, and it showed.
Well, I think last year.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
I think last year it wasn't our defense as a whole was great. I just think there was a few guys killing it in their position, and I think it has showed.
I mean, Howard was a third. Talking about the turnovers, he was a third of the turnovers last year.
And Eric Rowe was the tight end eliminator, and he hasn't been that this year. And you know, as much as Bobby, you know, people want to discount what Bobby McCain was doing, I feel like he was a real good presence that we don't have in McCourty or Holland, which I love Holland. He's one of my favorite rookies, but we don't have that presence no more. And
well, the problem with that, the problem
is because on both sides of the ball is the fact is there's not a lot of ton of leadership. If you look at all the guys they got rid of, all of them, like Van Noy, we all agree we should have got better play. He was a leader. Shaq Lawson was everyone you got rid of was a leader. And then offensively, Ted Karras, we all didn't like him, but he was a leader on that offensive line, right?
Well,
they all leaned on him. Now, and Flowers was the leader of that offensive line apparently. And now who does anyone have left to lean on? Jesse Davis, a guy who's if we know he shouldn't be starting as a swing tackle, what do you think these guys think, bro?
You'll break him if you lean on him. Like, that's not what you want. No, but that's exactly the point, right? And that's why, like, earlier on, months ago when they let go of some of those guys or whatever, that was my point when I was saying that they subtracted on the defense of players who were supposed to have big impacts, not necessarily in their play, but because of their leadership and the way that they help guys to get aligned properly and be in the right place and, make adjustments and so on and so forth. Losing all of those leaders, obviously, and we're seeing how it affects us now. Like it's a big detriment. It's a huge detriment.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, we're about to hit an hour and a half. Let's go through. Let's get some final thoughts. We'll start with you, Florida Born.
I'm hoping we go in and destroy Jacksonville. I really am. I'm a hope for the best and expect the worst. That's how I am. But I'm really, really hoping Gaskins gets a lot of touches because I think he's really key to to our offense being solid. Fins up. And thanks again, Reason, for everything you do, bro. You know, I've learned a lot from this channel, and I just wanted to give you my appreciation.
Appreciate you, homie. CT, your final thoughts, dude.
I hope we can go in and get a win. I'm not extremely hopeful. It all comes down to whether this O-line shows up and can protect our quarterback for once. Hopefully the receivers, you know, again, with our 7-11 bunch, we get decent play, and I think we do need to get Gaskins more involved. But I'd like to see Tua settle back in and give us some hope for the rest of the season. And God forbid, if we lose, it's pitchforks and torches and fins up.
Yeah, fins up all day, even if they need Cialis. Jan, your final thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm out of the hole that I was in since Tua got hurt.
You'll be back.
I said I was going to be out when Tua comes back. I predicted last week a 2-pick and a fumble game. I almost got it. I got 1 pick and 1 fumble. But with that being said, I'm outside the hole, but I'm still apathic, bro. There's not much emotion in me based on what has been happening since the beginning of the season. You know, I think it hasn't gone well. I just hope Tua, you know, can be enough to get a W this Sunday and, you know, get an O-line improved and just see where it goes from this point on. Tua is not going to change the, you know, the outcome of our season as of right now. But I do think he does bring a little bit more excitement. You know, that's what I'm in this season to see is Tua, you know, see his development, see his growth, see if he is the guy. And I just hope that, you know, these 12 games is enough for him to be able to do what it takes to be that. So fins up, guys. I'm going to be wearing my Dolphins shirt and hat. I haven't been wearing it for the past 3 games. I will this Sunday. And God bless y'all, man.
Dylan, your final thoughts.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was good talking with you fellas as usual. So, you know, I just the season's looking at it in the big picture is tough to do right now because doesn't seem like there's a lot of hope. But for me, I want Tua to come back and stay healthy. So hopefully they can protect him. That's one thing that I'm looking for the rest of the season. And because if he can stay healthy, I feel like he's going to play a lot better than Brissett, and he'll actually give us some chances to win games. So that's really it. Honestly, I you know, I don't think we have a chance in hell of making it to the playoffs if I'm just being 100. So I feel like we're going to fall short of expectations. I just want to see if my quarterback can stay healthy and give us some hope, at least for individual games. So fins up.
Z-Man, your final thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, man. I'm over here at work. I just had to deal with some idiots. He think I don't know how to do my job, but whatever.
Smack him up.
So with the smack him on his bald head like I'm do Brian Flores when I see him. But overall, I just want Tua come back because that's the only thing I'm really looking forward to now. I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. It seemed like that's a pipe dream at this point, unless we go on some miraculous 11-game win streak. But if we do that, then no one can say nothing, and they should still fire Flores because it's his fault that we don't have more wins.
That's what's up, Z-Man. I love it.
I'm telling you, bro. I think it's over with this year. They're gonna fire him regardless of what happened. They can go 13-4. Everybody gotta go because you wasn't the reason why at all. You did nothing.
Tell him, Z-Man.
And the record is there to show it. What is his record like? 8-16 without Tua?
8-17 now.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately, Brian Flores?
And Tua has already won 7 games in 10 games. So
yeah,
he's already almost caught up to Brian Flores.
And Flores has a worse record than the hated Adam Gase.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan had to throw that.
Yeah, no,
You had to get his Adam Gase plug.
I mean,
and one less playoff appearance if we're keeping it real.
Yeah.
Crypto, your final thoughts.
Yeah. Speaking of perfect timing, this night is all about perfect timing. I just recently drove past a funeral home. I hope that's not an omen for the Dolphins season, because it seems
What's an
like
omen for your
it's on the brink of
prediction?
death. It's a death. This season is death right now at this point. But we will be resurrected because once upon a time someone rose on the third day. So the Dolphins is going to rise in 3 days on Sunday. There we have it. The resurrection.
My God.
The rise of the Phoenix.
Oh my God.
Bro.
Trunks Harvey, what are your final thoughts?
Crypto, stop it, man. Because you stop using the Lord's name in vain. All right, you should know that. Anyways, man,
Stop making promises God can't keep.
I have no faith on. I really don't want to waste my time watching this game. So,
He's like, I'm just gonna sleep.
Bro, they're gonna win. I mean, I don't know why you think they're not gonna lose out the rest of the year, dude.
Crypto's at the bottom of the hole, still digging, man.
Yeah, but you got to be realistic. You want to sell this gimmick, that's cool, but you got to be realistic here.
Listen, no, I'm not. I really want Flores out of here. But you know what? I'm gonna be realistic here and say yes, we're gonna win. But guy, say we lose, Jesus Christ!
Oh, if we lose, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Buddy, if we lose, Flores and Greer would be left on the runway while the flight takes off, bro.
Oh, bro, they're gonna be left in the hotel room, bro. They're not going anywhere.
Leave them guys at the stadium can't even get on the bus.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna be back tomorrow around 8:00, and we'll do the preview and the predictions for the Jags game tomorrow night. Hopefully, the injury report doesn't look as bleak, especially for the wide receiver core. But yeah, guys, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate y'all. Fins up all day, every day, baby.
Smash